Marty, how's it going?
What's happening? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Tired and hungry, but we're still here. Thank you guys for joining us again for another edition of One Roll at a Time. I'm Juan,
I'm Marty.
aka Professor Marty. I'm super excited for this podcast today, this episode 4. And I know we got a bunch of people who are going to be excited for this podcast
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And we'll reveal who they are in just a minute. But what I wanted to do, I was searching for a long time. And it's going to be competition prep. And it's specifically going to be your 5 competition prep must-dos. So what do you either want us to do or recommend us to do? Again, if you're a student that's outside of Aoyama, you could still use Professor Marty's knowledge towards your journey. And the reason why when I talked to you, I was telling you, hey, there's a big gap because I'm looking, and for today, it can apply to any tournament, but we both did Jiu-Jitsu World League.
Yeah.
And when I was looking for Jiu-Jitsu World League prep, spelled out fully, JJWL prep, spelled out fully, JJWL prep Del Mar. Like I couldn't find anything. So I want this as a resource, not only for our team, but for anyone who's really thinking about competing.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing your knowledge today.
Yeah. I'm stoked to talk about it. It's really cool to like put myself in the mind frame of like prioritizing it and like coming up with the top 5 because I've been doing it for a long time now, and there's like so many things that are like a part of it for me now that you don't even think about.
Oh, it's automatic.
Yeah, you just like fall into a rhythm, a competition rhythm. But I think the first one, should we just get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
I think the first one then is you're going to sign up for a tournament, come up with a plan for the tournament in terms of the training that you're going to do. Like you have to like have a conversation with your instructor, your coach, your teammates about what your strengths and weaknesses are so that you can learn how to use those and what to work on your weaknesses for the next however many weeks or months before it is that you're going to compete. And it doesn't take a lot of work to do that. Like just have a conversation with your coach, and that might be like 2 or 3 where you just talk about it and come up with a plan and like really be intentional about your training. Anything you got on that?
Yeah. No, I mean, especially if you're newer too, even, and it's your first competition, like your professor, your coach is always watching. So they know, they'll tell, they probably already have told you too, like, hey, work on this, work on that.
Yeah.
But I think I strongly agree with that because that is one thing that I learned in the first one. It's like having a plan. And we talked about it. I would be cycling and then I'd be like, this is what I'm thinking of doing. Here's my, this is not that. And then he would critique it and be like, how about we do this instead? But the biggest thing I noticed, and even that I felt when I was competing people or in class too, is when you can tell when someone knows what they want to do next and when someone doesn't. And in the competition, it was clear that some people just felt like, oh, I'm going to go wing it. And I think that's the biggest danger, not only for in the match, but also like for training in the sense of like conditioning and getting ready. People are getting hurt because there's no plan and it's just every day it's wartime, baby.
Yeah.
I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah. And I mean, like intentional to like, you don't roll on Monday and Tuesday, you just drill. Then like Wednesday and Thursday are heavy rolling. And then Friday is like mobility. Like you can get that into detail about your training. And that's like one of the funnest things about competing.
Yeah.
Like it changes the way that you look at the way that you train and forces you in a good way, in a fun and an entertaining way to like really calibrate the different aspects of your training routine instead of just showing up and, like lounging around and BSing with, your buddies and things like that. Like now your mind is constantly running on what you need to be doing and like the goals that you're trying to hit leading up to the
Yeah. And that is one thing. Like if you don't have a plan, meet with Marty. I'm just a white belt, but I'll look at it over and I'll direct you to Marty. So hit us up whether on Instagram or shoot us a message or email us, right? And then we can look at it and help you. But that was the biggest thing, like having those like scheduled, like it's not even off days. One of them was like heavy, high intensity. It was high intensity and low intensity days, right?
Yeah.
And then you give yourself a break for your body to heal and you don't feel bad because it's consistency over the intensity.
Yeah.
If you can hit a plan consistently, that's going to help you than hitting it the last 2 weeks or the first 3 weeks and burning out.
Yeah.
So one thing I did, I was like that. I was to just being fully transparent, I was doing no-gi. So then my low intensity, like let me learn on technique days was the gi day, you know, because I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like I'm not focused on that.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
give myself a little space there.
Yeah.
And then having one day for me, it was Friday, where it was competition mentality and intensity. So having that same playlist, have what am I gonna eat? What am I gonna wear? So that way on game day, right? On tournament day, like you saw me and Marty, like we were in there, we were locked in, hit that weight, right? We would
Yeah.
shut up early,
Yeah.
hit the weight before
Yeah.
we could finally eat.
Get in at 7:30 a.m.
But there was
Yeah.
no surprises. It wasn't like, oh, this tag's weird on this rash guard
Yeah.
or oh
Yeah.
my gi fits. We knew it. We had our headphones ready. So even getting into it's not hyper detail, but it's just familiarity.
Yeah. 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 Like finding that rhythm and like, yeah, that zone. But I think that's just a really good point I want to call out. Signing up for a tournament doesn't mean that you train 6 days a week, 10,000% each time that you come in. It's not it at all, man. If anything, if you were doing that before signing up for the tournament, you need to dial it back for the tournament to take care of your body leading up to it. Last time at the last tournament, I think we had 22 people signed up and we lost like 7 people because of injuries leading up to it. Like you don't need to do that. You shouldn't do that. It's not good for your jujitsu to go that hard all the time. You should be more technical about the way that you train, less intensity, more technical about the way that you train when you're competing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And we'll go right into our step 2. So yeah, so step 1, this is like a baking recipe. Like you can't be skipping, right? You can't be like, oh, I'll add the baking soda later, right?
Yeah.
We can't add the training plan later. Like that is step 1. Don't start without it, right? So again, if you need help, reach out to Professor Marty or one of the coaches here. The second point that you had told me, we do a little bit of prep to at least know like how to guide the conversation. And the second thing that Marty said was important is having someone in your corner. And the one thing, it kind of all starts with the team and families. Right now, we wanted to give some shout outs. Shout outs of the competitors who signed up and want to represent the Arayama family and the hashtag Orange Crush on the mats because they all show up, even the fans and the family. They're part of it, part of the part of our corner too. But
Yeah.
take it away, Professor.
We got 33 of them. I'm going to name them off kind of fast.
Yeah.
You could talk about
Yeah.
each one of them, but I'm not going to. So the first one that signed up is Ben. Next, we have Waylon. Then Alejandra, Jacob. That's Jacob A. We have another Jacob. Jason, Juan, Rebecca, Juan's daughter. Alexis, who is Waylon's daughter. Then there's Devin. There's Xander, Brielle, and Amelia, who are sisters. Then we have Jacob B. Then we have Karina. We have Jack. We have Bella and Ari, who are sisters. We have Oz. We have Caleb C. We have Abby, and Abby and Jack are brother and sister. We have me. We have Colton. We have Glenn. We have Calvin, Yusuf, Clara, Adrian, Baron, Caleb, Izzy, Miles, who is Waylon's son. So Waylon's got his daughter and his son competing as well as himself. And then also Ian. So a lot of people competing.
Yeah.
Really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the time this releases on Monday morning, I wouldn't be surprised if we have even
more.
more.
Yeah.
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 So,
There's a few other people who said that they might sign up.
yeah. And then can you elaborate more on that point of having someone in your corner? Like, why is that number 2?
Yeah, I think going to a tournament by yourself is a very isolating feeling. It's already very isolating because you're going to go out there and it's it's one-on-one. You're fighting another human being. Like it's not a team thing. There's nobody standing next to you taking this challenge on with you. The closest you can get is having somebody sitting at the chair, screaming at you about the time and the points and giving you ideas and telling you what that person is doing. Like there's some things like, if they're hooked around your back and reaching for your collar or stuff like that, or like the way that their legs are tied up with your legs or the way that they have your collar grabbed, like that person sitting in your corner is another perspective on seeing what that person is doing and is giving you real-time advice on how to deal with it. There's all of those benefits, but there's also just the benefit of having somebody who gets you out of your head because man, it's a mental situation that you get yourself into. Because there's so much stress and like your adrenaline dumping and things like that, and having someone there in your corner to talk to you and keep you from like going down toilet bowls or going into like, negative dialogue, internal dialogue with yourself. That's important stuff because like I sign up for tournaments and there's always moments where I'm standing there at the tournament or leading up to the tournament where I'm like, why did I do this? What were you thinking? There's going to be other full grown human beings trying to break your arm and your legs and things like that.
And they're like, well,
Yeah. And they know what they're doing, you know? Like if anybody knows how to do it, they know how to do it. Why would I want to do that to myself? And you can't let that sit and fester, and having someone in your corner can look in your face and you can see it in a person's face when they're going through that with themselves. It can talk you back and get you back into a better mental place. So there's just, all those benefits that come with having someone there. So at least for your first one, where you're experiencing it for the first time and getting yourself acclimated to like going into those environments, you should have someone there who's at least been there to kind of help shepherd you through the experience so that there isn't anything that like knocks you out of your mental focus that you need to be in and like derails your headspace.
Oh yeah, it's good. You need someone, especially on the day of the tournament. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna help you here on the mats, and Marty has the competition classes. Even if you can't show up to those classes, right? We still create it on the classes you show up, right? We're all here to help you out, even if you can just show up those 2 times a week. Marty will implement something to help you with the competition. Um, but yeah, it is until you experience it, right? It did transform me in how I know I could push myself too. And then knowing too, because you never fully go 100% with your friends and your teammates. But out there, you feel it like they're going to come get you. So it's wartime. And then having someone on your corner too, one thing is like, it's not just on the tournament day. Can you explain more how, like, throughout prep, why you need someone on in the corner?
Yeah. Like for all the things that I just mentioned, like the mental stuff, you sign up for a tournament 3 months out, you got 3 months of mental gymnastics that you're going to be jumping through, that you're going to be putting yourself through, and having somebody in your corner who's constantly there talking to you and like bringing you back into a good place is important. Having someone there in your corner to bounce ideas off of, to help you like go from a bunch of floating ideas to an actual plan. That's what having someone in your corner does for you, and someone that helps you to like make sure you work outside of the areas that are just your best stuff and work and maximize areas of opportunity for you, like your blind spots. You need someone to call out your blind spots to you. How are you going to, if someone's going to beat you, how are they going to beat you? Like you need to know that. You need someone telling you what that probably will be, so that you can close those gaps.
Yeah. And that's true love right there.
Yeah.
So like, oh yeah, you got this.
Yeah, yeah.
On board everyone.
Exactly.
And nope. And speaking of true love, shout out to our significant others, Ellen, my wife, and then all the family and friends who are supporting all our competitors.
Yeah.
We talk about this podcast off the mats, right? Like prepping off the mats is hard too. So like having someone who supports you, like Ellen, and being like, hey, go compete. Because then they expect, right? It's like, hey, we're gonna be spending all this time and eating all this. I know my wife too is like, when you show up, you better show up.
Yep.
So thank you guys for everyone who helps off the mats too. And shout out also to Ellen to remind us, don't be cutting a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
Talk to your professor and your coach. Tell them how much you weigh. We don't care.
Yeah.
Look at, I don't care. But then we'll tell you like realistically, and we'll probably ask ChatGPT, like, should we do this on that?
Cutting a lot of weight is bad for you because it affects you in two areas. It affects you in your strength. It affects you in your cardio.
There's less water.
Yeah. There's less, of what you need to like process quickly mentally, and like you're processing as fast as you've ever processed in a tournament. Like it's coming at you really fast. So you need all of those things. So cutting some weight, for me, like my weight bracket's 168 and I walk around at 170, I have to cut 6 pounds. That's usually good for me because, that gets me back into fitting into jeans and stuff like that. I haven't worn in 10 years, which is nice. But that's not like a real strain on me. If you're talking about like, especially how quickly you cut the weight.
Yeah.
If you're talking about like 10 plus pounds in less than a week, you're stressing your body in a way that's not going to help you at the tournament. And if you're going down more than 20 pounds, unless your goal is to lose weight, and that's really why you're signing up for a tournament, because that motivates you to lose weight, then you shouldn't do it. Because when you get out there on the mats, you're going to run out of gas fast, and you're going to be like, I can't move this person like I moved people before. Like, why can't I do that? It's because you cut too much weight.
Yeah. You literally have no energy.
Yeah.
And then that takes us to our next point that you told me about, like go to open mats. Why should someone do that? That sounds pretty scary.
You should go to open mats because open mats are like one of the closest ways to get a tournament experience without going to a tournament. You go to an open mat and you roll with people that you don't know, who don't know your game, who don't play you a certain way, and you get to see how effective your game is and where your holes are at. And that's what you need. Like you need to be exposed and you need to be validated. And that's what open mats do for you. They tell you immediate feedback. You
Yeah.
see a guy wearing a blue belt, you're a blue belt, you go roll with that guy, similar weight to you, and you are successful, then that's a great roll. You know what I mean? You learn a lot about things that you do well. You see a guy or a gal, same age, same weight, same belt color, and they thrash you, you need to think about how you got thrashed and why you got thrashed, right? And like the you leave and like you might be upset that you got beat up, but you should be happy that you got a map of what it is that you need to work on.
Yeah.
Of everything that they did to you. So that's why going to open mats is really important.
Yeah. It's like a little, like an experiment, right? You're like testing it out, right?
Yeah.
A test drive. So, but yeah, don't be scared. And then Marty has a lot of friends in the jujitsu community and partners with other gyms. So,
Yeah.
like, if you don't know where to go, then hit us up and hit him up, and we'll be able to like hook you up with where to go. And same thing, once you go to like, I feel it's the culture, right? Like
Yeah.
people will know, like, hey, like you're here to roll on open mats. Like people come here all the time too. So, so yeah, go out there and learn, and then it helps you drill your scenarios and your roadmaps on like realistic time, right?
Yeah.
The next one is warm up before you fight that you
Yeah.
had. I'm assuming it's for both when we train, but then especially like on competition day.
On competition day, man, it's so important that you warm up and do like jujitsu before you compete.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to want to. Like the day of the tournament, if you're like me, like the last thing you're going to want to do is exercise, move your, like, you're going to want to sit still with your headphones on and just like be in your thoughts and eat food. Yeah. And like doing jujitsu on a day where jujitsu is like everything that matters is going to be sound absolutely horrible. But you need to go down to the warm up area. You need to have that person that's in your corner, like put on a gi and get on the
Yeah.
mats and like roll around with you and make sure that you move around and open up your lungs. One thing that I like to do that I started helping me get a lot of success is 2 hours before I fight, I run a hard mile and a half. Run a really hard mile and a half so that when I come back and I stop, like I would
Yeah.
like collapse in my garage and I'd be like, and I'd be breathing so hard, I'd be like, I'd have momentary thoughts where I pushed it too hard, I went too hard.
Yeah.
And then 45 minutes later, you got the endorphins running
Mhm.
through you, your lungs are opened up. Like you shock your lungs
Yeah.
and your system before you fight. It's better to have it done before you fight than in the fight.
Yes. Yeah.
Trust me, you'll feel totally different. Your cardio will be totally different on another level if you run like a mile and a half before you fight. Not to lose weight or anything like that. You just go and you do that. You're gonna have the endorphins. It's gonna help you mentally. You're gonna feel better about things. You're gonna feel better about yourself. And then again, you're gonna feel like your cardio, you know, from like a 5 to an 8 automatically from doing that just by doing that for yourself. So have a real good warm up before you fight the day of.
Yeah. And one thing like that, like doing research, like we'll give you a little tip in Jiu-Jitsu World League. That's the only experience I've had. And I thought it was an awesome setup. Everything was very streamlined too. You know, you have your bracket around what time. So it does give you the opportunity because there'll be mats. There'll be mats out there. If I can find footage, I don't know if I took a lot of footage. I might have like a picture that will pull it up. You can take a video. But yeah, they have mats and they're crowded.
Crazy
Still,
crowded.
you still go. That's why you give yourself that time. But I did when I was reading about that, like warming up too, it said that, yeah, you don't want your first match to be a warm up, right? That makes no sense. So, like, yeah, warm up. I took shoes still take shoes. Don't just take sandals. Take like a hoodie. If you're doing gi, take bigger hoodies and bigger sweatpants. That way you just can keep it on too. And that way you stay warm, like once you're warmed up. Because, yeah, it's easier to just stay warm than to try to get warm right before the match. That will not help you. Then the next point that you had was work non-impact cardio. What is that? What does that mean?
So when you're prepping for a tournament, the first thing that you should know about competing is that it's usually the guy that gasses out first that loses. And when you compete, the intensity level, I'll quote the most handsome guy that we have here, AJ,
Rebecca.
when I was talking to him. right after his first fight at the last tournament, he said, I go, "Hey, what did you think of that fight?" It was his first fight. And he said, "That hit me, that 5 minute round that I just had hit me harder than 30 minutes of rolling out of school." And it does. It blows out your grips. Cardio is crazy, shocked. The intensity is just so much more when you compete at a tournament. And so, yeah, it's on a totally a different level. Go ahead.
Was his first match the one with the blue guy in the gi?
Yeah, the guy.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna put blue guy. Shout out blue guy wherever you're at. If you see this and that's you, send us a message. We're gonna get you a gift card or something. But you see it in their faces in both of them. AJ probably felt, shout out AJ. It felt a little less because you win.
Yeah.
But we'll put up that picture of, he reminds me, he's like, and like he reminds me of like the Home Alone, you know, when he's getting like electrocuted. That's what the poor blue guy looked like. Because you're like, again, like, everything's firing. All at once. Marty's yelling.
I'm screaming at you. Yeah.
And your fans are there, your friends, your family.
All the people in the stands. Yeah, the Orange Crush, we're all screaming. And that gives you some extra energy. But the question is, why should you do non-impact cardio? Because you're going to be working on your cardio leading up to the tournament to try to improve it, to give yourself that shot. And you don't want to hurt yourself with the extra cardio. So I'm somebody, when I jog, I have a heavy heel stomp and I get shin splints and stuff like that. Like, you don't want to deal with those issues when you're going in to do a jiu-jitsu tournament. You know what I mean? So
jiu-jitsu,
on top of everything that you get from, like, I have tennis elbow on both arms right now from jiu-jitsu, a strained groin from jiu-jitsu right now. Like,
shit, so you're gonna walk right now, huh?
Yeah, you're gonna get enough. You're gonna get enough from jiu-jitsu. Don't create more. So non-impact cardio like rowing or cycling, things like that, those are better for you because they're not going to hit your joints and they're not going to jack up like your muscles and things like that and create injuries. If they do, it takes more than, like, running a 10K or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
and that's huge. That's one thing that, I thankfully, I mean, we didn't watch the tape, but thankfully I didn't gas out. I just did the rush fight.
Ended in like 12 seconds.
First fight, after 12 seconds, I was like, because I didn't know. And that felt more tight after that.
Yeah,
one. The first fight, that was 12 seconds. Then the 5-minute one that we went the distance. But especially like that, like I felt like my cardio was good. I did the cycling. That's what I was telling you. That's when I would just go into my deep thoughts. And if you have a heart rate monitor, like, you don't have to go and buy something, a good way to measure. I was doing zone 2 training, heart rate zone 2, and that's like being able to have a conversation, like a sentence like that, not being too out of breath, doing it longer, helped me build my cardio. Everyone's different, but this might help. We have the Warriors, the Beast, right? The two-a-days that we have. That even if it's not, shout out Oz, right? Waylon, even someday, Ben. You see the multiverse of like Tyson, the competitors who are like, or even if it's not here, like two jiu-jitsu classes, they're out there in the gym putting in work, right? So it's like
Alejandra.
Weightlifting. Exactly. Yeah. So if you feel like that was one thing that really helped me, like, still get after it, right? But like preserve my knees. My knees suck. I don't have like ligaments in them too, and sweat it out. But then also, like, if you are a person who's like, oh no, I need to do 2-a-days, like, even if it's on your hard day, but the other session is like a cardio or rowing, it's gonna help you recover because you have to recover too. And then that's gonna give you the confidence. My cardio was good. I mean, you always could tell me too if it's not, but I felt like my cardio was good where that wasn't a factor that I was worried about. I was worried about like techniques, running out of techniques or stuff like that. But it gives you that extra confidence knowing like it's not gonna come down to me gassing out first. Because of that non-jiu-jitsu or low impact cardio. So just to recap, make sure that you guys have a solid training plan. That's the biggest step one. The other points will be useless if you're just not doing the other ones, right? Have that team, right? Have someone in your corner. Even if it's just one person, having someone to reset you, right? And then also, like, one thing too, like, even if, and you said it too, like, if you're steering too far on the other side, because doubt is easy. Everyone's going to be doubtful, right? Oh, why did I do this? I shouldn't have signed up. I'm going to lose. But then you can also go the other way where it's like, I'm catching everyone. It's like, hey, someone who's like a little bit detached, who can like bring you back. Go to open mats. Don't be scared.
Even if it's just your school.
Yeah.
Just your school. Because you'll bring, people will come, weekend people come in. Yeah. You know, like if you're a 5:30 a.m. guy like Juan, you don't see the 6:15 p.m.
Mhm.
people. You get to roll with them on at open mat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't necessarily have to go to another school. Just go to your own school's open
Mhm.
mats and see what comes in.
Yeah.
You get the benefit of home field advantage with that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And it's like that. Like that's how I didn't go to any open mats like for another school either during this last prep. But having that open mat mentality like on tournament day, I was like, hey, it's just an open mat. It's still jujitsu. That helped me a lot. Like it's just jujitsu with like what, 20,000 people watching you
Yep.
and some music bumping. And then warm up. Please make sure you're warming up on tournament day,
Yeah.
but also before class. Don't be showing up late like me, please. And then work on non-impact cardio. So right now, what message, now that we recapped everything, what are some of the last message you want to say to your fellow competitors, but your students who are ready on December 6th, Jiu-Jitsu World League Del Mar?
First thing I want to say is to everybody, which is that compete because you want to experience competing, not because you feel any pressure to compete. Feel pressure to compete, that's competing for the wrong reasons. Don't do it. And if you do want to compete, I think it's a great thing. I'm happy to support you. Excited to support you. Everybody's excited to support you. We've got a great group here who is going to show up and scream and yell for you and be there for you, win or lose. But like it's the winning and losing part is just a tiny bit of it. Competing teaches you a lot about your jujitsu and you, and there's a lot of great benefits that come along with that. Like immediate feedback on your jujitsu game, immediate feedback back. And plan like you walk away and you're like, I need to work on this.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah, you're
this,
plan
this,
for
and
the
this.
next.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I know what I need to work on to get better at jujitsu. Win or lose, like even if you win, you're going to walk away and say, these are the things that I know I need to work on.
Mhm.
Make sure that you're having fun. Remember that this is an experience. Like this is an adventure. Adventures are not meant to be easy. That's why they're adventures.
Yep.
They're supposed to challenge you. They're supposed to be
Journey.
questions, you know, about whether you're going to make it to the end, things
Mhm.
like that. That's why you do it, because you want an adventure. You want to see like how you're going to react in these situations. So have fun. Thank you for letting us be a part of it.
Mhm.
Thank you for choosing us. Yeah. Whether it's one time or you end up doing it 100 times, it makes no difference to me if
Yeah.
you or don't.
Yeah, and it's like that. We're just doing this to be part of your journey. A little selfish. We like to talk about
Mhm.
jujitsu, so
Just
we
love
do that
talking.
too.
Yeah.
But yeah, remember, just have fun, right? That's literally it. It's gonna be one of the most fun experiences, even when you lose. But you're probably gonna win and beat everyone. So you won't even experience that either. But thank you guys for again letting us be part of your journey. If you know anyone who's going through the journey, going through the competition prep like that because they don't know. And like I said, even when we wanted to learn, I couldn't find anything. Right. So that's why we're doing this. Thanks for letting us be part of that journey. Tag them in the comment sections on Instagram. And then also right now, just remember, you're not gonna get better one medal at a time, one tournament at a time. You'll get better one roll at a time. Thank you guys. Have a blessed night.
Take care.